Okay, here we are where we want to talk about some equivalent ratios. I'm also calling them equivalent fractions because at this age and stage, they're pretty much the same thing. So 2/3, you can make many infinite equivalent ratios by simply multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So I'm just going to multiply by 2 and 2 on top and bottom, giving us 4/6. That's the first one we can come up with, 4/6. We can also keep going and make it times 3 times 3, and that's going to be 6/9. I can keep going, times 4 times 4, and that's going to give us 8/12. And you can go on forever, infinite. And what you see, I call this the lobster claw, the rainbow method. What else do we call it? The clamshell technique. Somebody's referred to it as a football, and lately it's been called an onion. But what it is everything in the numerator and denominator gets multiplied by the same exact number. So what you're really multiplying is by just a fancy form of 1. So if you multiplied both by 5 and 5, you get a 10/15. You're really multiplying by a fancy form of 1. And I talk about that fancy form of 1 a lot. So those are equivalent ratios, and they're going to lead us into questions like this. So you have to find the missing value x within this proportion. So this is a proportion. It's one ratio equal to another ratio. That's what's called a proportion. And you can solve this two ways. Let's go with 3 ways. 3 ways, not 2 ways. The first way I'm going to see is I can see that the 3 and 12 play nice. I can see a times 4 here, so I can multiply by 4 up top as well and see that the x is just an 8. That's one way. So I look at the connection across and I see that 4, or the rainbow technique, works really well. Another technique that I might see is I can take 2/3 of the number. So 2 is 2/3 of 3. What is 2/3 of 12? 8. All right, so that wasn't the best example to do that way, but let's try this proportion. In this proportion, we know that cross products are equal. Let's go back to here and show you that the product here is 12 and this product is 12. We're not multiplying these fractions, we're just seeing that the cross products are equal. 9 times 4 is 36, 6 times 6 is 36, 72, 72. I could choose any 2 ratios that are here and their cross products will be equal. We can use that technique when we're doing proportions. So from that we can say that 2 times 12 is equal to 3 times x. 2 times 12 is equal to 3 times x. And then we can solve that with basic one-step equations. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals, notice the 12 and 3 make a 4, 4 times 2 is 8. That was just another way to do it. Let's say we had this proportion. 5 is to 15, like 3 is to x. So the 5 and 3 don't play nice with the rainbow, but they play nice here. I call this the ear. So 5 times something is 15, and that's times 3. 3 times 3 as well gives us 9. So now we have 45 as a product, 45 is a product. All right, that's about it for equivalent ratios or fractions without getting too crazy. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. I hope you learned a little bit during that time. Thank you. Bye-bye.